All right, welcome to the final module of our FinOps 101 series. We've covered a ton of ground, the principles, the people, the processes. But here's the thing, how do you make sure all that hard work actually sticks? Today, we're going to dig into making your FinOps practice a sustainable, long-term success. Now, before we really get into it, just a quick but important heads up. As you see here, this is the last of 20 modules based on a report from Virtualization Options LLC. What we're talking about is for general guidance. It is definitely not legal or financial advice, so please make sure you chat with your own pros before making any big moves.
Okay, so here's our game plan. First, we're going to tackle the big question. Is our FinOps practice actually working? Then, we'll dive into how to measure what truly matters. After that, we'll map out the path to maturity. And we'll wrap up with the real secret sauce, building a culture that goes way beyond just saving a few bucks.
So, you've put in all this effort. You've got new processes, you've started optimizing your cloud spend, but how do you stop it from just fizzling out? Becoming just another project that everyone forgets about in 6 months. How do you make this last?
This right here is a million-dollar question, isn't it? Because without a clear way to see if you're winning, it's so easy to lose that initial momentum. And before you know it, costs start creeping right back up. We need to prove the value and keep that engine humming.
The answer, as it often does, comes down to measurement. You really can't improve what you don't track. But here's the trick. It's not just about tracking your total spend. No, it's about tracking the right things to get the whole story.
The key here is to think in two different buckets. You've got your financial metrics, right? The dollars and cents that show the business impact. But just as important, you have operational metrics. These show you how healthy your actual FinOps practices are. You need both to see the full picture.
Okay, this is where it gets really interesting. We almost always focus on the stuff on the right, the lagging indicators. They tell us what already happened. But the real magic? It's in the leading indicators on the left. Things like tagging and policy compliance. They predict future success. You get these things right today, and you're pretty much guaranteeing better financial results down the road.
Don't get me wrong, lagging indicators are powerful. A big number like this, $2.3 million in annual savings, that's what gets leadership to sit up and pay attention. It's the proof in the pudding, showing the bottom line value of what you're doing.
And then you have this, a perfect example of a leading indicator. A 94% tag compliance rate doesn't have a dollar sign in front of it. Not yet anyway. But what it does show is that your process is healthy. It means you've got the visibility and accountability you need to go find that next chunk of savings. This is how you keep winning.
This brings us to a super critical point. It is so easy to get fixated on the total cloud bill, but real success is all about efficiency. A metric like this, a 15% improvement in unit cost, proves you're getting more bang for your buck. Your total bill might go up as the business grows, and that's okay. This shows that your FinOps practice is making that growth smarter.
So, measuring success is one thing, but progress isn't just random. It happens in stages. You need a roadmap. Let's look at a simple but really powerful model for what that journey looks like.
The FinOps framework gives us this awesome path: crawl, walk, and run. In the crawl stage, you're just getting visibility, trying to see what's going on. Then in walk, you start building consistent processes. And finally, in run, FinOps is just second nature. It's just how you do things, with automation and proactive management baked right into your culture.
And it is so important to be patient here. This is not a weekend project. This is a marathon, not a sprint. Experts say that most companies spend a good 6 to 12 months in each of these phases. You're building a solid foundation, and you just can't rush that.
Okay, so you're measuring success, and you have a roadmap for getting more mature. But how do you keep the momentum going? You need an engine to drive continuous improvement to make sure your practice never gets stale. This improvement loop is that engine, and it's powered by 4 key habits. You've got regular business reviews to keep leadership in the loop. You benchmark against your peers to see how you stack up. You hold retrospectives to learn and adapt. And maybe most importantly, you share knowledge across teams to turn small wins into company-wide expertise.
This quote just nails it, doesn't it? The goal isn't for some central FinOps team to find a few savings here and there. It's about creating organization-wide excellence. It's about making everyone smart about costs, so that making efficient, value-driven decisions becomes part of the company's DNA.
And this brings us to the final, and honestly, maybe the most important takeaway of this whole series. FinOps isn't just a tech thing or a finance thing. At its core, it is a cultural practice. At the end of the day, the tools and the metrics are just the start. Real, lasting success comes from embedding FinOps into your company's DNA. That means keeping your leaders engaged, celebrating wins to build momentum, making cost data easy for everyone to see, and, this is key, framing FinOps not as a bunch of rules, but as something that enables everyone to make smarter, better decisions.
So as we wrap up, your FinOps journey doesn't end here. The real question to think about is this: how are you going to make cost awareness a cornerstone of your organization's culture? Answering that is the key to unlocking the true power of FinOps. Congratulations on completing FinOps 101.